All right, people, we're back. Victory and Vices podcast. Me, Rory Spooner, James Veck, and Rhys Henley. And as you can see below me, a very, very special guest. Our most famous guest to date, Mr. Nolberto Solano. So, Nobby, thank you for coming on. We had a brief chat with you now, but how are you keeping with everything that's going on with obviously COVID and everything? What's going on in Peru thus far?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, guys, to give me the opportunity to speak, to practice my English back again, because I haven't been talking in English for so long. But yes, I'm first of all glad to in this difficult situation with the pandemic to be alive now after you see so many different situations with people die, pass away with this coronavirus, with this pandemic, been really, really tough, especially here in my country too. Yeah. So I'm glad to be here, my closer family, we try to survive with this situation. I know around the world is similar, but only one thing, try to be positive. We have to, looking forward, we have to deal with this, and unfortunately with this situation, but we're fine. I'm fine with my family. The reason I keep in a little bit my Geordie accent or my Geordie English, if you're hearing, is because my girlfriend, she's from Newcastle, so we've been living together, and I try to speak with her every day in English because, I won't be available to speak to yours maybe.
Yes, yeah. No, thank you, Nobby, again for coming on. We're here to talk football, and that encompasses a lot of different things. Initially, obviously, we want to talk a bit about Peru because our Peruvian football knowledge is, is quite limited, and we thought it would be interesting to find out a bit about it. So, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe my research is incorrect. You are currently the assistant manager of the Peruvian national team, and you are the manager of the Olympic team. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm working with the first team, with one of the assistant coach in the first team. We go that tournament under 23s. I'll be the head coach to qualify to Tokyo, the Olympics game. We didn't qualify, and unfortunate. But at the moment, still working with the national team, with the first team. We do a lot of office moments because, as you know, we only get the players only for the short times. They only come every 3 months, every 2 months, sometimes longer than that. But really, really enjoy very much working for my country. I'm so proud to be in Peruvian national team, learning a lot. What I'm saying all the time, when you footballer, I'm talking about especially my case, or I will say, we thinking sometimes after play football, we know about football. Yeah. But to be honest, it's not that true. we only know what we have to do, what the manager said to us, or what the coach said to us, what we have to do in the pitch. But to deal with all the situation, to deal with all the football, about to make happy 25 players, some players not playing, some players yes. Being so good. I'm very proud to working next to one of the best managers from Argentina. It's called Ricardo Gareca. He used to play with Maradona in the 80s. Okay. He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent manager. He's so lovely person. So just me, still involved in football. I love football. My passion football. Soon I'm born in this life. My mom told me I always liked football, so that's the reason I'm still getting involved in football. I'm really pleased to working for my national team. And at the same time, just waiting for one day get the opportunity to back to England. I love England, the way the English football is in general, the well organization, things like that. So miss me a little bit to miss England. So just like we say, still learning a lot with these people, with this experience. I'm waiting one day, I hope so, to back to England, get the opportunity to coaching over there.
That would be brilliant if you came back. Do you have ambitions of being like a club manager as well as a national manager? Yeah. Would you start, you think, in South America and then maybe move to England, or would you go straight to England first?
I'm already starting here. I'm already starting when I'm retired in 2011. My last club was Hartlepool United in the League One. So I'm doing my coaching badges in England, and when I come back in the first year, come back to Peru. My first experience was in 2012 for one of the big clubs in Peru. So I get the opportunity. Only was for a short period, 5 months, and after that, another small experience in another club in Peru. From there, I got the opportunity to work in the national team from 2015 until the World Cup we qualify until now. So yes, of course, you in one point you need to. I'm looking forward one day to move forward. To be a head coach. Longer get the opportunity. Of course, I'm no problem to go into. I know very well the League One, League Two. I quite well I'm very lucky to be in England for so long. I know so well the English football and even League Two, League One, Championship, of course Premier League. But any step we have to take, I'm no problem, to come back to England.
Yeah. And with regards to your coaching journey, I mean, you're only at the start of it. But what kind of what elements of different coaches have you taken and adapted into your own style? Do you think? Who was your inspirations?
Well, what we learn in football is we always I mean, we're very lucky to see successful managers. Like Mourinho, Guardiola, Klopp. All of them big history in football, great manager, Rafa Benitez, if you come back, Capello, great managers. But my opinion, always I try to take the best for everyone, in football, it's different. Maybe I would love to play like Jose Guardiola does, Guardiola is excellent, he always signing great footballer, but sometimes could you imagine if you are going to, with all respect, to League One, League Two, or Championship, and you not have the same kind of player to be managed to deal with the ball, to try to get the ball from the goalkeeper, pass to the defender, midfielder, or strikers, will be great. But you need to adapt to depend what you got in your team. But I'm big fans of all of them. I mean, I take it for everyone what they're doing. It's so nice, so great. But in the realistic situation, I need to adapt. And if you go in any opportunity, to try to play as everyone. I think every manager, that's my opinion. Everybody try to play good football. I don't think so anyone going to the pitch to say, okay, don't pass, just go long and see what happens from there, So you miss the midfielders, you go from the goalkeeper to striker, see what happens. So I remember when we used to play Wimbledon. I remember that team Wimbledon.
Yeah.
We always, my neck have a problem with my neck. I said, what's going on with my neck? Because I can't see the ball in the air, flying in the.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love the football. I love the footballers take that confidence to play the ball from the back, to get clear, to go into forward. But like I'm saying, is I love football. I still believe nobody got the great answer. Nobody know the answer in football. What's the best way to go? Because you see the club in 2-3 years dominate Liverpool, dominate so good the league, and now you see the Liverpool. What's going on? It hasn't changed the manager. It hasn't changed the players. So end of the day, you will thinking about what's going on in Liverpool. But it's the moments. For me, it's the more important is the moments of the players.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Yeah, that's a valid point. Success, I suppose, moves in cycles, and obviously every sort of manager will have their sort of moment in the sun, so to speak. It leads me nicely actually into what I was going to ask you next, because we're touching upon management. Who was your favorite manager to play under when you played football, be it in England or anywhere else around the world?
Well, I'm enjoying with all the managers. I was all the time a positive person to when any manager arrived in the club, try to be positive, because what happened if we are the footballer thinking about be greedy to say, I'm not liking this manager because he's like this. I never was the player to thinking or thought like that. I tried to do my best for the club. Of course, I'm enjoying very much with Bobby Robson. And the time he arrived into the club, we got a little bit of success into finishing the top 4, getting to the Champions League. So we play quite great football. We have a great attacking team. And well, I used to have a manager here in Peru give me the opportunity when I was 17 years old. It's called Juan Carlos Oblita, very good manager, still now working in the national team. He's like a director of the national team.
Okay.
He gave me the opportunity to go back into football. So always I will say, take a small bits of any manager, best. No, and try to don't look in for say, oh, how bad he was on this and that. No, because for me, no, it won't help me. Now I'm thinking as a coach, as a manager,
Yeah.
you know. But I would say Bobby Robson, he was a great manager, you know, because he arrived into the team, he pulled the team together. That's the key in football. Guys, I would say is apart from the tactics, apart from anything you can see in the pitch, if Guardiola doesn't have a happy his whole team together, I don't think so they will have any results.
Yeah, it's great that you try and see the positives, Nobby. Go on, Becky, you're saying?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Nobby. Obviously, we touched upon Newcastle there, but I wanted to ask you sort of about your journey on, because I think it was it Boca Juniors you were with before Newcastle?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it around '98? I was intrigued to ask how you sort of transitioned from Boca Juniors to Newcastle United. So how did that sort of story go?
Well, you know, my football agent now is my friend, still in good relationship. He told me, say, about England. You know, when, to be honest, in that time, English football wasn't that popular as now, you know. But was interesting. Always my dream to play in Europe. I didn't realize, I didn't know going to work. Normally, South American players going to the normal, because it's quick to adapting. It will be Spain, will be Italy, because probably same coaches, football similar as South America. So, but when my agent told me about England, I said, no problem, I will go anywhere. I was the rumors to go Arsenal first. When they come to Newcastle, I knew a little bit Newcastle because Tino Sprier, year and a half before I arrived in the club, was playing for them. I remember that wonderful match against 3-3 against Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I was a little know about Newcastle, but as soon as I arrived into the club, I was over the moon. Just to arrive in England, see the training ground, see the top, you know, Alan Shearer, great players around myself, was so proud, so pleased to get the opportunity to move to English football. Well, I'm enjoying so much. I never realized how much passion is in the football in England, because we sometimes here in South America may be confused, because if you see the Boca Juniors, the crazy crowd, the supporters jumping, fireworks, you know, fights, things like that. In England, probably you won't see any more like this, because with all the situation, with all problems with hooligans many years ago, they stopped these things. But it's still the passion. It's still the passion. Everywhere you go in England, it's still the passion. I play for Hull City. I play for Leicester. I play for Hartlepool. Even any division, any city you go, fans let you know how much loving that football. So, and to be honest, I'm right in the right place. I never would say to people, oh, should we go to Spain? I was so pleased, so proud to play in England. And well, I'm still in good relationship with great people outside football, inside the football.
Yeah.
And to build on James's question as well, he said, obviously, go into England. It's all the same in terms of everyone's passionate. Everyone loves their club. But there's one thing that probably sticks out to me, and that's you went from probably playing a Super Classico, maybe Boca Juniors versus River Plate, Sunderland versus Newcastle. And I wondered, really, they're both games that are massive to individual supporters. But how do the two compare in terms of the actual day and the event?
Well, probably in Argentina, because if you go to Argentina asking who's supporting Boca Juniors, who's supporting River Plate, probably will be 50-50, you know. In the Northeast, it's more a smaller place. I know, for me, with all respect to Sunderland fans, Newcastle is the giant in the Northeast. For me, to the club, you know, even Leeds United there, Middlesbrough there, I believe Sunderland there. Newcastle is one of the biggest in the Northeast for me. But like as you said, the derbies is not to compare, because I remember used to go in the street, taxi drivers, you know, giving you a little bit push to say, hey, come on, we need to win this week. We need to let, you know, fans coming to the pitch, to the training ground to give you a little bit stick, you know, come on, we cannot lose. we battle. Well, it's different atmosphere, like I said, to England is too nice for be terrorists compared with Boca Juniors. And in Argentina or South America, I tell you, somebody probably now, with all technology, you don't need to be in the country to know or to feel how the derbies in here. The derbies is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, culturally, it's very different. I mean, just touching upon the culture very quickly as well, Nobby. When you first joined sort of Newcastle, was there quite a big drinking culture in terms of alcohol? And did that surprise you when you first came?
Yes, I think it's the culture, like you say. When I was playing in Argentina, you see the players a little bit more professional, not going out much, But to be fair, I was quite surprised. Arrived in England and the players in general, and 70 or 90% of the team like having his drinks. I was very pleased too. I won't hide in my life. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "That's my people. I like it." So enjoy after the match, going out with the lads, have a drink. Yeah. Even after the matches, we can have it like a VIP after in the stadium with the family waiting for us after the matches. Have a few drinks in there. Was to me, oh my God, that's a nice place to be. So well, like I said, but now football, even in England, is slowly getting changed, and now you can see the lads, the players, so perfect. I mean, they're athletics, very professionals. You see how skin, even the bloody tops. My friends say how fat I look in the top. That's so huge. I have an XL in my bloody top. It only was very skinny.
Yeah.
But everything changed, for good. Now you see the Premier League. That's the standard of the level of the football. You see the footballers doing so well. They are so good. I mean, that's doesn't mean to be. That's what Arsene Wenger started with all the things. You have to be English, the Premier League. The things to stop to the lads, players don't drink it much or take away the drinks from the bars of the inside the dressing room. So, well, everything is now changed. The football is more professional,
And who was the best drinker at Newcastle when you joined?
Oh, you have a big lads in there. I remember Philippe Albert, Duncan Ferguson.
Oh yeah,
crazy guy. Heavy weights, heavy weights.
Well,
Alan like his drink too, in general.
Well, I was going to ask you, Nobby, about your teammates, because we've established the big drinkers, but who were your sort of favorite teammates when you played in England? Did you have a particular teammate that you got on best with?
I'm going on with everyone. And the person I was all the time and try to get on with everyone. I'm not really, because it's Alan Shearer, I have to be friend of Shearer, with Alan, with Shea Given, we got speed. But, in that time, because the young lads, like Kieron Dyer, Craig Bellamy, Titus Bramble, Jonathan Woodgate, they are only 3-4 years younger than me. When I arrived in the club, I was only 23, 24. There was 19 years old. Jermaine Jenas, they loved to going out. But to be honest, I was sometimes 50-50 because I had to go with the olders like Alan Shearer, Shea, Gary Speed, Stevie Harper, Davisas. But to be honest, I'm really enjoying with everyone. I have a very good relationship with everyone,
Yeah.
And on the back of that then, Nobby, you said you got on with the younger teammates as well, and everyone likes it, sort of a party. I've got a specific story in mind here, Nobby, but I had a question for you. One thing that we've got in mind, in common, I suppose, is that we both have a particular skill playing the trumpet. And was there any times that got you in trouble as a Newcastle player?
No, to be honest, when I start to play a little bit with the music and start to do my second spell when I come back to the club. And when I went to Aston Villa, coming back and joined to do like a salsa band, things like that. But I remember having fun, when Bobby Robson, what happened is we used to injure players. We had to be a little bit late. So we have it in one of the parts, like a small break to join to play music. Well, I brought my trumpet with me just to have a fun. Bobby Robson was on the pitch and tried to play like a funeral songs, like the funeral songs, the horse races, song, things like that, hiding behind the tree, from the defense.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby Robson tried to look at who's that bloody trumpet is. I told the lads don't say anything. That was just for a fun, You try to get the dress room, the dress room together, good team spirit, things like that,
We've got a TV show in the UK called Would I Lie to You, and Jermaine Jenas was on there, and his whole topic of one of the rounds was the fact that you kept him up one night before the Sunderland Newcastle derby, playing your trumpet in the middle of the night. I just wonder, is there much truth to that?
Yeah. I used to bring my trumpet, because we go day before the match to the hotel. It's only the chance probably, and we will be quiet. So, it was one night. Jermaine was pissed off with me because I'm bloody. He said, "Can you please let me sleep?" So it's a good fun. I like the boys. I like it. I'm very pleased now. Jermaine doing so well in television. He speaks so well.
Yeah, he's doing very well for himself.
And
very well, yeah.
And you did actually set up your own salsa band, didn't you? Was there any former teammates that could have got a spot in that band?
No, just myself, because I'm only the South American. We like salsa. You English people, you're not really big fans of salsa. I mean, you know the music probably, but not really know about that. But I always like salsa here is very in South America. Only the countries, I will say, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, we are the same coaches. We listen a lot salsa here. But you go Uruguay, Argentina, maybe Paraguay, they're more, or Chile, rock and roll, pop music. Yeah. But I love music in general. I'm from the big family. I'm the last one of 7 brothers, 5 brothers and 2 sisters. My brothers used to listen a lot of soul music, like 70s, 80s, like Lionel Richie, Barry White, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, big old bands, America, the bands from America. So always born in this, and we listen. I always loved music. I'm always very passionate for music.
Yeah, no, that's good. We spoke about Newcastle quite a bit, Nobby, and it's a very big topic now with everything that's going on at the club. And we wanted your opinion on Newcastle. As it stands, there is the potential they may be relegated. Do you think they'll get relegated, or do you think they'll stay up?
I don't think so. It has enough score to survive it again. It's easy to sometimes when you're outside to ham in the club. I'm really love it. The club, I really love it. The people, the club sometimes deserve much. We know, I believe you know too, is a little bit. We're waiting for more from the ownership. From in this case with my Ashley to pushing a little bit forward, because the club can't do that. I mean the club has a history. Always try to entertainment, good football, try to reach to be in the try to come back into the Champions League or UEFA, international tournaments. But it looked like in the last few years it's no much show the owner or people there no show much interest in to see pushing forward the club. So it looked like the people now, the fans know is okay if we win the Premier League. Happy. They will be happy if we stay in the Premier League. That's the owner of my Ashley show in the last few years, only to make people, because you see Newcastle, I was watching or following the last 5, 6, 7 years. They go some good few great players, and after the next year selling. It's not established for anyone. If you try to build a team, you try to build them like it happened with us. I remember in the time when I was in Newcastle, Bobby Robson every year signing one player to play. We never left. Nobody leave. Good players try to stay in the team to make a good team. But in Newcastle, you see, you say Sol Winaldo, Sol, the lad play for Spurs, Tottenham, can't remember. Sissoko, sell Cabai, sell people, good players in the last 5, 8, 10 years. So it doesn't look like the club got ambition to go forward, to try to reach anything. It's difficult how any manager will build a good team when the politics of the clubs is about selling players, the show be like a window show.
Yeah. And what do you make of Steve Bruce's approach to managing the club, and do you think he can take them forward?
The thing with Steve is, like I say, Steve, it will be similar in the same situation. The way probably will not many people, like I say, it's too easy to criticize him from the back after the matches or before. But you see the team, Newcastle is, you never know. Steven Bruce never consists to have a one line up on the team. I know he got injuries sometimes, but never has it. Some different games play different people, different ways. Sometimes play 5 in the back, sometimes play 3 in the back. So it's been difficult for him, difficult for the team. No, you only see Newcastle try to be solid defensively and from counter-attack try to get something. He get away from that because many games I was watching them get away with that because defending and get results. But now he's in the situation he has to play good football to win games. So it will be tough now. This year will be tough, but I will say they will survive because the score they have, the players they have, at least they will be okay still in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's interesting, Nobby, because I look at Newcastle as probably one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. But then when I look at two of your other clubs, Aston Villa and Leicester, for example, they're far surpassing what Newcastle are doing. Have you watched a lot of Aston Villa and Leicester this season?
Yes, of course. Brian Roy, great manager, is doing so well. I like the Leicester, the way they play football. Even sometimes, that's why even Wolverhampton, I like the Wolverhampton, the manager from Portugal, Espírito Santo, he's doing a great job. He tried to play his team from the back. He tried to play football. So that's why sometimes it's hard to understand because Newcastle got great players. They have a good player, but it's no confidence to just pass the ball each other, to get combinations, to go forward, to attack. It's sometimes hard to understand. Joelinton, you signing as a striker, now playing the right winger. Almiron is sometimes playing, sometimes not playing. So Maximum, and unfortunately, is one of the best players he has. His injuries at the moment, but I don't know. Steve Bruce brought somebody, sometimes to me, look very hard, very harsh for the people already has his staff. He bought new coaches, one of the coaches you join to the staff. So look a little bit at the moment, is everybody's confused or, doesn't know what to do. But the football, only fingers crossed for the people, for the fans, for Newcastle. I wish them I hope so, to stay in the Premier League for the next season.
Yeah, no, most definitely. In terms of having a favorite player, I'll give you an example. One of my favorite players to watch now is Jack Grealish. And I wanted to get your opinion on him. Obviously, you played at Aston Villa and you would have been known as a creative midfielder, someone that, made things happen on the pitch. What is your opinion on Jack Grealish as a player?
Oh, it's a fantastic. You remind me that you used to have it like a Paul Merson. Yeah. That English, what we say, it's different. It's one of the different. Look like to me more like a South American player than British player.
Yeah.
And the way the guy stop the ball, he's thinking, he be 1v1 if he want. He's very smart. I love him. He's a great player. I was surprised to me when I saw his surname. Sound to me was like it sounded to me like he was. I don't know, he was in Polish or Czech Republic because his surname. Yeah. But it's a great talent. I think England now has a wonderful, good players, great players. I believe so many good players. That's why I'm pleased for England to doing well in now international tournament. They can reach, I believe, for the next World Cup, they can reach to go into the finals because it has a good players.
Oh yeah, that England team. There's off the top of my head, there's Rashford, Sancho, Saka, Foden, Greenwood, Grealish, Maddison, Barnes. Do you have a particular player that you like to watch in the Premier League? Is there one right now that's your favorite?
From any country?
Yeah, I like the guy you was mentioned before, and of course I like Sterling. Sterling doing so well at City. I like Sterling. Because you can tell Guardiola how much pushing to him or develop him to be a better player every season. So I remember Sterling used to run, but now he's the guy take the ball a little bit pace, take a time, passing, assisting, score goals. So I believe the generation England has a great team. I hope so. Dele Alli come back again in the confidence because of another great player like it. Harry Kane is a great striker. Remind me so much like Alan, his best times, like Alan Shearer. So you got a wonderful team. I mean, England, I hope so. Southgate can reach or make a little bit push. I think you will be, for the next World Cup, one of my candidates to win the World Cup, man.
Yeah. And we talked about the best English young players. Like I said to you at the start, our Peruvian knowledge is quite limited. Who are the best young Peruvian footballers that we should be watching out for now, the people that are representing your country?
Well, I would like you to say anyone now, but at the moment, not really. We only got players. One of the best players now playing in Saudi Arabia. He decided to leave the Premier League to go to Saudi Arabia. It's called Andre Carrillo, used to play for Watford.
Yes,
He's a great player. But it's a shame to not can mention anyone because we have a lot of players in the MLS, a lot of players in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3 in Europe, like Spain and Holland. But we know that fortunately, like a superstar, like Argentina have or Brazil have or Uruguay have, you know. But we hope so. We wish, hope in the future we start to develop good players to one day come try to reach and want to be into one of the best top leagues, you know, like in England, Germany, Spain, Italy. So at the moment we struggle a little bit with this situation, you know.
Yeah, and Nobby, I mean, it's an interesting one, really, that you should say that, you know, there's a little bit of a lull at the moment with the players coming through for Peru. I was just saying off air to James just before we started, actually, that in the 2018 World Cup, Peru, I actually thought played the best football, the most bright attacking football. I know they didn't get out of the group stage, but I think that they did actually come to the tournament and give it a really good go. So I don't think you should dampen it quite too much. I think there are definitely some signs there as well. I think Rui Diaz is a good player as well. I think, is he playing in the MLS at the moment?
Yes, Raúl played for Seattle. Raúl Ruiz Diaz. We got Christian Cueva, number 10. The guy missed the penalty against Denmark. He's playing in Saudi Arabia. Our top players, Farfan, now is getting older now, 36. Paulo Guerrero, 36. So he played in Brazil. So we difficult. Our new generation will take a little bit time to go to the next step to be in the national team, because here in South America is really, really tough to get qualified. As you see, we start already to qualify, and we've been only 1 point from 6 games. So we need to work in very hard to get back into the reach to the top 6 to get chances to qualify. So, well, is like I said to you, we in Peru, we need to improve more. Our league, the clubs need to improve a lot, you know, to develop more players, you know, to be more better coaches in the youth teams and every big clubs. One of our big clubs now went to relegation in Peru. It's called Alianza Lima, went to second division, so that's not good for Peruvian football, for the history of this club. So it's a lot of work to do here in Peru, a lot of hard work to do, because unfortunately we're not like Brazil, not like Uruguay, nor Argentina, you know, even Colombia now. You can see how many Colombian players around the world. So we need to working hard from the scratch and try to develop more players.
And do you think you can make it to 2022 in Qatar?
I hope so. We hope so. It's a lot of games to play, but well, we'll see. We want to push. We have 2 games against Bolivia and Venezuela, but then they won't play because at the moment, for this situation with England, Spain, they don't let go the players. The English football doesn't want to let go South American players to come to play here in South America. So I think being canceled these 2 games for us. So hope so. Well, we'll come back soon to play against qualifies.
Yeah. Do you know, Nobby, speaking of the young players in sort of Latin America, they seem to be maybe it's a bit more hungrier than sort of the European players. Like we've got this sort of English generation now where there's a lot of talents, but if you were to look in South America, they regularly produce talented young players. What is the difference between young players in sort of, Latin America and in maybe in England, for example? Do English players get too much too soon, do you think, the young players?
Well, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Manchester City has one of the rich owners in the world. Or you're going to Manchester United, or you're going to Newcastle, or you're going. I won't say. I think in one way is for me it depends the coaches, how you coaching your players, how you teaching the young lads to reach to be into the first team. We South American, we struggle, especially Peru, we struggle a lot in that accommodation. When you play for the youth team, the pitches you play is nothing to compare with England. Yes. So that's probably one of the say when you reach to get into the first team or playing in the high level, we appreciate so much. Even I was playing in Peruvian club professional, the facilities or the training ground, nothing to compare, not too close to what we see in Europe. But like I said to you, normally when the players in here more hungry because it's that you want to be in Europe, you want to play one next to one of the best players. Of course the economy is different. It's different. You get the wages is completely different. It's everything all together, but it's more like the passion and the challenge of your life when you say, oh, I want to play professional football and one day want to be in one of the best leagues in the world. So that's why when we reach that we appreciate so much how much the football is, how enjoy playing in one of the best stadiums, great facilities, the people treatment you so well. We say the footballers, we are the luckiest professional in the world because we wish and we doing what we like it to do when you was young, playing football, and you get paid for that. So very lucky now this generation because the wages, the football, how much change for television, for things, it's crazy. Sound crazy when you hear about wages about 40,000, 30,000, 60,000, 100, 200,000 a week. I talked to my mom, why you made me so early?
Yeah, no, it's true that the money some of these young players are on, is staggering. And we had another footballer on the other day, Ian Hume. He used to play for Tranmere, and we talked about it. And some of the money is incredible. Like you see the contracts flying around. That money, I mean, obviously there was big money in your day, but did you ever imagine that like money like that would exist in football?
Well, no, not really, but yes, of course, when what happened is because the football became now very strong around the whole world. Television, the only people watching football in Asia, Africa, Australia, South America. I think it's in one way so good. I mean, I'm pleased for everyone, for the player, coaches, but I never imagined how high, because Messi, Ronaldo, that superstar, Neymar, they make all the thing happen.
Yeah.
Doing so well around the world, and so they are very lucky. I would say they're very lucky, but it's different generation. The technology, even like this, you don't need to have now to see what's happening around the world. With this technology, everybody be available to see.
Yeah, technology is an interesting point. I actually wanted to get your opinion on VAR. What do you think of it and how it's been implemented in football? Do you think sort of VAR and sort of video action replays is the future, or do you think it'll sort of leave football? What do you think of it? Because there seems to be a lot of mistakes being made.
Yeah, the thing is, we need to start to when the VAR start to 16 in the game, we always will take a time to people adapting to that.
Yeah.
Because if you thinking in the fair play, when everybody talking about fair play, I think that the VAR is perfect thing to be in the football. Because sometimes, clubs working so hard to reach into the final, to get result. And unfortunately, for one human decision is the referee, make a mistake, you can lose that all hard work from you have it for a long season you have. But I think it's arriving for good. The only people need to start to take a little bit time to understand. England, for me, in England, the referees is one of the best referees. I'm not saying because I'm talking to you English, but I will say the Premier League has the referees always speak to, even referees here in Peru. I always say to them, come on, have a look. The referees in England, you don't need to discuss with the player. They'll give you yellow card if it's yellow card. They give you red card if don't speak to you. Don't get angry. Don't get argue with them in the pitch. Yeah. But to be honest, if you want to use the word fair play, I think it's welcome. The bar is welcome. I know take a little bit of time. The emotion is sometimes you don't know if you celebrate or not celebrate, or it's, but we have to use it. You know, when you get it in the few years time, everybody will be probably more pleased with the bar.
We actually spoke about this subject with, I think, a former teammate of yours, Warren Barton. I don't know if you played together, but
yeah, we played together. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
And he was saying, obviously, when he was with Wimbledon, if VAR had been at that time, I think they'd have all been sent off about 10 times over. I think it would probably apply to you in your playing days with Newcastle as well. Was there anyone probably in that team that would, let's say, not have benefited from VAR?
Well, probably yes. I remember that team, you know, when it was one of my first season when I arrived, we played them. I'm going to the tunnel. And when I'm looking in the, you know, on the side, I said, "Whoa, my God, we're gonna play football or we're gonna play basketball?" Because all of them huge lads, big giants in the team. And this team only just, like I said to you before, play forward, long balls. Probably will the teams like this, or the bar will be more benefit in my times. You know, because they're pushing to you, they're using the elbows so high. So, but like I'm saying, the bar arriving for me, is just to be fair with everyone, you know?
Yeah, no, that's very true. I believe, lads, we've got some questions for Nobby as well, for some listeners that have sent it in. That's correct, yeah?
Yeah, so we've got a few questions from some of our viewers. Nobby, so I just blast them. We've got a guy called David Davis, who sent a question in saying that you were a Villa player on the day that Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer had their famous fight. What did you make of it all? Because I think you were on the bench watching it at the time.
Yes. I remember I arrived from Peru because I have qualified games, and David O'Leary left me in the bench because I was tired. Only arrived Friday, and we had to play Saturday. Even I was on the bench trying to be sleeping because I was the time different.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I was following them because the ball wasn't different. Of course, the cameras only punching the situation when they start to fight. Yeah. But before that, I knew a kid got angry to Lee Bowyer about they didn't pass the ball. And Kieran was moaning to him, you know, was with the hands like this, you know, saying a lot of things. And Lee Bowyer started to getting closer and closer and closer until the fight happened. It was very funny. It was very funny. And I come out from the bench because Kieran has to leave the pitch and go and grab him to say, "Come on, my friend, be quiet." I can't say in the bloody a lot of F. Fuck, this, blah, blah, blah. But it was very funny. To be honest, it was absolutely funny. Everything was unreal. And to be honest, it looked like to be honest, that happened many times in the training ground. All this situation, because when you have people want to win, you want to train well, it happens all the time. I see them many times, but unfortunately that day wasn't television alive with all the fans. No good for them.
I think Bobby Robson was the manager then. What was his reaction at the time? What was his reaction to that?
No, yes, Bobby started watching, and when saw the player being sent off, just left. And I didn't know because I wasn't in Villa dressing room, but I wasn't in Newcastle. But yeah, for everybody was shocked, surprised to see things like that.
No, I was. I don't think I've seen anything like it since, to be honest. But we've got another question from Andy Fraser on Instagram. He's asked, "What's your craziest memory with Alan Shearer?"
Crazy memory? No, Alan, when he used to score, I remember when he scored against Everton. The half volley from nearly close to the half of the pitch. It was amazing volley. I never see the half volley put in the bloody corner. And another one was similar, like a crossover. He tried to cross the ball but put in the top corner. Alan said, "No, I mind to put the ball there. Come on, don't be liar, don't be liar." But he was fantastic striker. I was very pleased to serve with him when I was playing for Newcastle. Top, excellent player, manager. I mean, great person, great striker for England for many years. He's a machine to score goals. He's a great professional.
Yeah, out of curiosity, Nobby, there is a debate that's going round now, and I saw it the other day on Twitter actually as well, about who is the best Premier League striker of all time. And Alan Shearer seems to be almost underappreciated a little bit. I think, names like Aguero and Henry come up, and then, you get your Wayne Rooney's and various other ones. But do you think Alan Shearer might be the best striker of all time in the Premier League?
Depends how people will compare, because the people you mentioned already, you will say Alan Shearer. Probably people will compare how many years Alan Shearer won probably the Premier League, how many cups, international, Champions League, things like that. People probably put in the balance this situation.
Yeah,
maybe Aguero, maybe Rooney. These people has more trophies, they win the league how many times, they finish in the top scorer every season. Aguero, I don't know how many times, but no, it's unfair. I think everybody is a different seasons, but Alan, even remember, could you imagine if Alan played for us, with all respect, Newcastle, if he maybe played for Arsenal in that time, or Manchester United, probably would be double of the goals.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it more impressive. His goal tally is the fact that, with all due respect to Newcastle, is that he did it at a Newcastle. Like you said, if he was at a really big club that, was constantly winning and creating chances, he may have had 100 more goals. So, that's a very, very valid point, Nobby. Yeah. No, sorry, Viscount, you got another question?
Yeah, we've got one more question as well, Nobby, in terms of our viewers, from Luke Stamford. And he's asking the question. I know, obviously, you mentioned that you have nothing but admiration for Sir Bobby Robson, but was he a reason for you leaving Newcastle? I know that they were playing Bowyer out wide around the time that you left.
Yes, that's only. I always enjoy playing football. I understand sometimes when you have a competition in the team, you need to challenge for your place. You need to fight for your place. Lee Bowyer even wasn't right winger, but the way Bobby Robson was with me was a little bit tricky, and the way he started to let me out the team. Even was when we started the season, I started playing the Champions League playoff. The next game, league games, no playing. The next game, league no playing, no starting. I start to feeling like, sorry guys, I start to feeling like, what's going on? I spoke to Bobby, everything okay? You want me to do something extra, or you lost the confidence with me, blah, blah, blah. No, don't worry, son, you okay? It's a start to the season. It's only beginning the season. We have a lot of games, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It was only September, November, December, still no same situation. So just call him when I say, Bobby, I'm in my way to Villa to sign in. Are you sure, son? Are you sure? You sure people love you? Yes, Gaffa, I'm leaving. And thank you very much. It's a great time with you. Okay, blah, blah, blah. That's the reason I left the club, went to Aston Villa, enjoyed very much. I played much football. I was very pleased there. But to be honest, it was tough to me. It was hard to leave Newcastle because always my feeling for the club, give me the opportunity to move to England, played many years there. So it was difficult. That's the reason when I get the opportunity to come back to Newcastle, I did.
Yeah. So, Nobby, let's create sort of a hypothetical scenario then. So let's say tomorrow Steve Bruce gets sacked and Mike Ashley rings you in Peru and says, Nobby, I want you to be Newcastle manager. Do you get on the first plane and manage Newcastle?
It's very tentative. It's a dream for me, but I think we need to have a lot of discussion with this guy,
Yeah.
With all respect. I know he's the owner, but it's like I said, I think to me, we all have to be in the same. I remember Shepherd, and the time with Shepherd, we go in the club. He always, we knew it. They like it. We're hearing about. They want to push forward the club. They want to move forward. When any manager asking for good players to bring to build in the team, is very important. I think it will be tough. Even Rafa Benitez, with all his pedigree, with all pedigree, Alan, the Rafa Benitez, with all his pedigree, was tough for him too to reach to the next level. So, to be honest, I will be over the moon. It will be one of my dreams to come back to England to coach him. But like I said to you, we need to speak so much with this guy because it won't be easy. Maybe he doesn't like me anymore. Because many times we're talking about all these things. Probably won't be happy to me to give a stick.
Yeah, no, that's true. Becky, we've got our 1 to 11 now. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. So Nobby, we all the footballers that we have on the podcast, we ask them to give us their best 11 players that they've played with, and the best manager they've played under. It's up to you if you want to put yourself in the team. I know I would if I were you. Pick 11 other players or 10 plus yourself and a manager.
I will play as a coach. I won't play myself now. Yeah. I'm a coach now, so I will say Shegiven. I will say it's very harsh this position because between Warren Barton, sometimes Aaron Hughes play right back, or Andy Griffin. I think I really enjoy with Andy Griffin. He got pace, crazy man, it's tough. So I would say Andy Griffin. I will put center back Jonathan Woodgate with Nikos Davisas, Olivier Bernard. I will play with 2 midfielders, like I would say Gary Speed, Kieron Dyer. I will put Jermaine Jenas in the right. I will put Laurent Robert in the left, and 2 striker, Alan Shearer and Craig Bellamy.
That's a very good side. Craig Bellamy is in coaching now as well. He's an interesting character. Do you stay in touch with a lot of your teammates? Do you still speak to quite a few of them?
Yes. I'm not regular, but I was talking to Kieron Dyer, Craig Bellamy, Titus Brambo, Alan Shearer, Shea Given, Olivier Bernard, Laurent Robert. Yeah, still not regular, but sometimes we talking about life, football. So yes, we finish always in good relationships.
Yeah, no, it's good. Of Craig Bellamy, I wanted to touch upon him because I think he's such a fascinating character, and it's such a shame how his relationship with Alan Shearer now is, shall we say, a difficult one. When you mentioned training ground fights, was Craig Bellamy quite a fiery character?
He's a small dog. He's a bite. It's like a small dog, bark all the time. Because his passion. Craig has if you don't know him, he's a footballer passion boy, He loves to win, even in the training ground. He wants to win, he moaning everything. If you don't give a good ball, come on. We have to say, bloody shut up, man. You have a big mouth for a small guy. But he was nice. He's a great lad. We keep in touch. He's in Belgium now, I believe, in Sunderland. He's coaching over there. I wish to him all the best, But, always when you have a good characters in the team, it's good, especially if you try to win things for your team.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Lads, did you have anything else you wanted to touch upon very quickly?
Yeah, we had just one final question actually from our viewers, and that was from Ben Rees on Instagram, I think it was. And that was simply, what was your favourite goal that you've scored and why?
Well, the way it was, I like the goal when I was playing for Aston Villa. When we played, I remember the game was Monday in the night time against Spurs. So I really enjoyed because, first of all, I made the decision to go into the box when I never go into the box. Or normally I'm taking the corners or the set pieces. But I was in the line, from the second ball, should be waiting for the second ball. And just decide to go inside, nobody marking me. I had to make a little bit acrobatics in there, to score against the Spurs. I remember that goal sounds when you play with your friends in the beach, when you are with you have to put the ball in the air and you're a little bit like overlap there. So I really enjoyed that game, that goal when I was playing for Villa.
Good answer, Nobby. Was there anything else, lads, we wanted to touch upon, or we all just tied up?
No, all good for me.
No, we're all good. Brilliant. Well, Nobby, thank you again for coming on. The pleasure is all ours. Believe me, we've been looking forward to it all week, and I can honestly say it's probably one of the best hours I've ever spent talking football. So thank you again for coming on. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you, guys. All the best and be safe. I know it's a difficult time, but the more important, be safe. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no problem at all. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Nobby. So we'll sign off. If you haven't obviously subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video, follow us on the social media platforms as well as Nobby. I'm sure he loves interacting with fans too. We will be back next week. We have another guest on. We've got Nicky Hunt, ex-Bolton Wanderers, coming on to talk to us too. So we'll have a chat with him. So like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time, people. Take care. Ciao.